Next up is the, I have my stuff out of order. Where is it? It's the petition. It's under here, that's right, flag petition that we received from the town clerk, Wendy Leonetti. There are, did you all get a copy
Yes.
of this?
No, well, I mean, all we got were copies of the petition with no language on what the petition
The
was.
language is
So
on.
the language really, I think that we should have had the language before we made a decision, or at least get a I don't I guess, so.
We haven't made a decision.
Right, okay, got it,
Yeah,
no.
this is a petition that, per our charter, has to be approved by town council, which it was, prior to being circulated. So we have that. I'll distribute copies, and it's a petition town meeting, just for a refresher.
I have,
Oh, okay. And by charter, we're required upon receipt, which we accepted the last meeting, and we agreed that we would set a town meeting date tonight.
well, at the last meeting, I think that we asked that council review the, how this was gonna affect the well, I mean, we wanted a legal opinion on the,
He approved the petition. I
But-
think if it wasn't legal, he wouldn't have approved it.
but
Well,
let's,
wait a minute. He approved the form of
Yeah.
the petition,
The
but that,
form,
but,
the language for the petition.
okay, that's,
that's
is
different than
required.
that's
what
different
it's,
than, I'm looking at this constitutionality flag petition from this lawyer from the Supreme Court Bar, Daniel Waking. You guys read this? This is an invitation to a lawsuit. This is an invitation to a lawsuit that we'd lose. And so, I encourage you to read this because there are several legal findings that categorize what this is as a violation of the First Amendment. And, read Daniel Waking. I don't know the man, but this is very well written, and he's a member of the U.S.
Did we
Supreme
all
Court
get
Bar.
that?
yes.
Yeah.
And I sent a copy of that to you, earlier
I
in the
think I
week.
sent that to Jason.
You did, yeah, you did, because I said I really want an answer about this before
From
we
him.
go
I
ahead.
haven't gotten that answer.
Okay, so I don't feel comfortable at all setting anything right now with this until we get legal opinion on how this is gonna affect the town vis-à-vis whatever
This
this
issue.
gentleman said. But also, I mean, I understand, I'm in favor of Pride Month, I'm in favor of, the banner in Town Hall. The ordinance that we passed was to allow the United States flag, the policy, the United States flag, the state of Connecticut, town of Ridgefield flag, the grad flag. And it was, and it narrowed the scope down from, with no special interest groups, basically. And my concern is that we accept the petition, we do the town meeting, it gets passed. There's language that they may fly a pride flag for the month of June. Now, the next special interest group that wants to
They can.
fly a flag,
For the petition?
well, I
Well,
don't know, I mean, that's the,
That's the point.
They could.
Rudy, that's the
Our
point. of it.
charter allows that, that's all I'm saying.
That's the point here of this,
I
this
agree with
legal
that
piece.
on the American flagpole, but if you have 3 or 4 flagpoles, does that mean you can't fly it on any flagpole?
This
I don't think it
this
does.
precludes it from this precludes any differentiation. What this says is, let me just read it to you. To allow this petition or any other petition on the flying of a certain flag or flags to go for a vote would be a violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution. The issue, which was corrected by the current policy on the flagpole that we created, what is known as a public forum and then discriminated against which individuals were allowed to use that public forum based on viewpoint. The courts have long held that viewpoint discrimination by the government in a public forum is precisely the activity the First Amendment was enacted to prevent.
That's his opinion.
Okay, well, this guy he's a U.S. Supreme Court
who he is.
lawyer.
I know
Okay?
who he is.
Okay? The adoption of the current flag policy closed the public forum, thereby making it impossible for the town to engage in illegal discrimination after its enactment, to your point. Then it says, if the board allows the vote to go forward, it will have created a new public forum. The facts in this instance make it clear that that will be what has happened. A group that was previously allowed to use the town flagpole to express a political mission again wants to use that flagpole to express a political message. And they, instead of going to the first selectman, they now have been permitted to use the forum to express via majority vote. And what this says is, to the extent that a referendum substitutes majority determinations for viewpoint neutrality, it undermines the First Amendment of the Constitution. It's a very cogent argument, okay?
Okay.
And I don't think
I promise you, you can get an argument to the out. That's what this is all about. There are both sides of the issue. I'm just following our charter. When we get a particular argument.
Except short-lived, except there
But
are
I'm
two,
more than willing.
there are two cases.
To wait for a legal opinion on that. It's just that we may be in violation of the charter and receive.
We are not required to approve what.
It
we are-
says shall call a town meeting.
Yeah, within 45 days. We are not required, according to our charter, to advance this to the next step.
How can you say that we're not?
I read that today. We are not required. I have to find that.
I thought it said shall.
The word shall means to me you have to do it.
Yes, it does to me too.
Well, there's a sentence that I read that said we're not required to advance it, but I have to find it.
Here, I passed this out. This is out of the
Okay.
charter, Chris. The highlighter toward your thumb at the bottom, petition town meeting. Maybe that's where you saw it.
Yeah, it's in
This
here,
is the
it's
whole
in here
section on
somewhere.
town meetings.
Let me just see if I can find it. All right. Neither the Board of Finance or the Board of Selectmen's persons shall be required to make a recommendation on such petition. It's the middle of the second page.
Yeah, a
We don't have
we're
to make a
not.
recommendation.
Okay,
No, we wouldn't do
We
that.
wouldn't do that, but you have
Some-
to advance it to the,
Okay,
What
well,
I was
okay.
reading for
Fine.
part C, that's all.
fine, I guess that's what I was reading, and I was
Yeah,
thinking,
it's okay.
we're not required to advance it now. We're, okay, you're saying we are. Well, okay.
A town meeting shall be called by the Board of Select Persons upon receipt of a petition under the following circumstances. I'm gonna go, there's A, B, and C. The A and B
Okay.
were dollar
I'm
amounts.
not gonna,
And then C, it lists everything.
I read it wrong, I thought, I got ahead of
2%, the
myself.
town clerk prior, so we got the notice, they're all verified. The Board of Select Persons shall hold a public hearing regarding the petition not involving any
Yeah, I'm just-
expenditure of any funds which meets C above. Neither the Board of Finance nor Board of Select Persons shall be required. For example, if we ask the Board of Selectmen on appropriation or the Board of Finance to make a recommendation on the expenditure or the allocation of funds, the vote on the subject of the petition shall occur within 45 days of receipt of the verified petition.
I'm looking at the prior sentence, you guys.
I'm sorry?
I'm just looking at the prior sentence, that's all. You know how I'm gonna vote, so, you know, it is what it is.
If you,
I'd like to see our lawyer specifically speak with this
I
Daniel
would
Waking
say-
guy and say, and have them and have us be privy to the conversation. I'd love to have
I
this guy
would
come in.
invite him here.
Our
and-
lawyer or this guy, or both?
No,
Our lawyer, I don't know, you know.
it should be
I
our
can't-
lawyer, it should be the
it should be
town's
our
lawyer.
Yeah.
And I would like to hear from our
Yeah,
lawyer too
but
before I said
what I would
anything, because I
say
don't
is-
want to leave us open to that.
What I would say is that we would call a town meeting contingent upon approval by the town attorney.
I think we basically said that when we accepted the petition.
We didn't
Because-
set a town meeting date.
No, we didn't, because
And
when we.
that's what we need to do.
Well, at the time that the petition was, we accepted it that night.
If you don't wanna do it.
No, I
that's
understand
fine.
what this is saying,
I'm
but
just
we
reading
have,
the
we're,
chart.
right, but we are well within the 45, it hasn't been 45 days yet,
No,
right?
we just have to call it. So if we don't call a town meeting within 45 days, so, and I reread that to mean, does that mean it has to be a vote or just set the date? So we could say, we're gonna have a town meeting in March of 2038, you know?
No, yeah.
Rudy,
So-
I look at what our lawyer has done, is he's got a limited responsibility with respect to what he's opines on, which is the form of the petition. And-
Well, I
and-
think we
okay.
have that opinion there. He has to review and opine on that.
Well, yes, I mean, that's kind of where I want to get to, and here's my point, if there's any ambiguity here, there's legitimacy here, there's law, if there's any ambiguity, it strikes me that our town lawyer's obligation is really not to the political objective here, but to the taxpayer.
Here's where your point is well taken. All matters which the petitioners for a special town meeting desire acted upon and which meet the signature requirements as verified by the town clerk, if they are proper subjects for action at a town meeting determined by the attorney of the town. That's what we need to do.
And that's pretty, yes, yes, I read the same sentence and I'm like,
Okay.
I'd like to see this guy and our attorney get into a conversation and flesh it out and see what happens.
Well, I
Once
don't
that's
know.
done,
I don't know if we can require him.
No, but I think the
Well,
board,
well,
we can-
our
I'm not-
board should hear from the town
Well,
attorney.
Yeah, I want to see if I
Oh, he
can track
should,
this guy down.
Jason should, but I'm not saying we can require Jason to have a meeting with Waken.
no.
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 Well,
I mean,
I'm not
but
saying
you
that.
can require him to do
That
some research.
Was sent.
Absolutely.
And we need an opinion on that.
Yeah.
Are we in violation of federal law?
yeah,
Well, and
That's all I
also the
want.
And
language, in-
that's covered in this paragraph.
and I'd like to get this is the first time I'm reading this at all. I don't know, I mean, so I would like
We
to
don't
get a
have
better
approve
understanding.
that. You can read it and understand it,
But we don't have to
no
approve
say.
it?
No,
So it can say anything?
well, no, the
Well, the
attorney has
attorney
to
approves it.
have approved that it was proper.
Okay.
Yep, okay, we'll do that.
Thank you.
Call them in the morning. So, do you have the date that Wendy, oh, and here is, Mr. Tartaglia wrote an objection. Did I pass that out?
You
Yes,
gave
you
me
just
one.
I
did.
think I did. Did everyone get one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sure Chris has one.
I just gave him the one that you just handed me. Do you need that back?
Nope.
You have one?
I made copies. I thought I did, but there are a lot of papers here, so I wanted to be sure everyone received that. Okay, so, now, here is, we received the petition at our office. What was our last meeting date, October 9th? We received it, so it's 45 days from that. Technically by the charter, if it's deemed to be a proper topic for a town meeting, as determined by our town council.
So October 9th was our last meeting.
Right, that's when we accepted it.
So we have till about the 19th,
we have till November 23rd.
November
23rd, so
23rd.
we have a meeting on the 20th, if we have to do it, or November
Well, it
6th.
gives the attorney
6 and 20.
plenty of opportunity to
Yeah.
kind of fully vet.
Research and,
Yeah.
okay. I wanna- Fair Rent Commission ordinance.